Week 10. So this week you're going to continue to draft the argument research essay, keeping in mind the final copy is going to be 8 to 10 pages long. And this is mainly your own voice and argument. You are including sources, but they are to support what you have to say about your topic. So when you're looking at drafting this, 7 pages is a good goal before adding your sources. If you're interested in including visuals in your ARE, there's information located in the Week 10 folder. Not required, but if you plan to use visuals, this is where you would go for a resource. Also, if you're going to include an appendix, an example of an appendix is also located in the Week 10 folder. Again, not a requirement, but if you would like to use one, that's where you can find it. Also looking ahead, the peer review for the ARE is found in the Week 10 folder. You will be using this next week, but it might be a good guide for you as you start to draft your ARE. You should post to the discussion board by Wednesday of this week at 5 p.m. some type of rough draft of the ARE with sources added. So you're taking it a step further from last week when you were simply just writing out what your argument was. Again, if you're looking for the grading criteria as a guideline, that's available under the Unit 4 Argument Research Essay tab. So all the criteria is broken down, and this is worth 300 points, so you can see where all of the points will be assigned. An important thing to remember about the ARE is you may use MLA or you can use APA. You're not tied to one or the other. Suggested that you use whichever your career path will be using more often. Most of you will probably be using APA. But again, you could choose APA or MLA. Just make sure you stick to one or the other. For this week in your journal, please send me an update of your rough draft. If you have any questions, please ask me in your journal. But as always, if you have questions, you could send me an email too. But just keep in mind, you do have a journal coming up for Week 10, and this is just an update of the ARE. And finally, looking ahead, next week you're going to do a peer review of a rough draft of the ARE. So each week your rough draft is getting more and more developed. So last week we didn't have sources. This week we're adding in our sources. Again, the overall goal is 8 to 10 pages, which does not include any kind of visuals or appendix or any kind of giant block quotations, or your reference page or works cited page, whichever route you choose. None of that is included in the 8 to 10 pages. So just keep that in mind as you're composing. And looking even further ahead, the final copy of your ARE is due on Friday, November 9th. So you do have some time in between, but please don't put off your drafting. And if you do a little bit more each week, submit to the discussion board, do a peer review, let me know if you have questions, then you should be in a good state to keep composing this so you can do your very best work. And that's it for this week. So I hope you have a good week ahead. And again, as always, if you ever have any questions, please send me an email. Have a good week.